Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back. So, today we're going to start off with our 500 millibar chart as usual. And as we head through the afternoon and into this evening, we do have a jet start to make its way in. And we are in the or even right now, we are kind of in the left exit region of that jet, which is perhaps why we're getting some light precipitation, some light snow across much of the state at the moment. As we head into the overnight hours, that jet streak will move overhead. Excuse me. And then as we head into tomorrow morning and into tomorrow afternoon, it looks like things are going to be pretty calm. We do kind of have like a little short, a tiny little ridge feature here, and we still have that northwest flow. Things might be a bit calm, but you see we also have a tiny little trough right behind this little bump. We have this tiny downward bump right behind the tiny little upward bump, and that tiny little trough feature will move across northern portions of the state as we head into tomorrow evening and tomorrow night, and it will move across the state and out of the area as we head into Monday morning. That tiny little trough-like feature will likely bring some wintry precipitation, and we will take a look at that in just a minute. But first, we must head a little bit farther down to the 850 millibar chart, so it's closer to the surface but still above our heads. And nothing is immediately sticking out to me, except we do have that first little ridge that is much more obvious at this level, kind of along this axis here. But you do see that trough behind it right here as well. And on the right side, where it kind of transitions, you have a lot of spreading out of these height lines, and that, of course, will lead to some rising motion as that trough makes its way through. And so again, that it looks like it will likely lead to some wintry precipitation across much of the state. Right now, it's looking like it'll be focused in northern portions of the state, but it is something that we are going to have to keep our eye on. Now going all the way down to the surface, we have temperature and pressure and winds. And we do kind of have a broad area of high pressure develop over here. And then as that trough starts to move in, we have a very small localized area of low pressure here, and that high pressure starts to get pushed out of the area. Now let's take a zoomed in look so we can take a little peek at our highs and lows. So it looks like the high today may be just in the upper 20s. We may get close to that 30 mark, but maybe not quite. And then overnight and into tomorrow morning, it looks like temperatures are going to dip down below 20, probably in the mid to upper teens. And then as we head into tomorrow afternoon, we may briefly warm into the upper 20s, getting close to 30. Again, not quite though. And it looks like we will actually kind of stabilize there in the upper 20s as we head through tomorrow night and into Monday morning, with little pockets of mid to lower 20s here and there. This is what our... Okay, I need to stop doing that, because every time I click this to bring this up into better view, it chooses a different radar site. Anyway, this is our current radar. Again, we do have some light snow just kind of broadly across the entire area. There are a little bit bands of moderate snow, but we are not expecting any major accumulations from the current snowfall. Maybe we get, a quarter of an inch of snow, which, as I'm sure many of you are aware, is nothing here in Michigan. But maybe it could make the roads ever so slightly slick. Probably not, but better to be safe than sorry. But of course, we're more interested in what's going to happen later. Now, this is what it's showing for right now, and you notice that the current precipitation does not show up on this whatsoever. And that is because it's really light, and the ensemble models can kind of lose sight of some more intricate details. So because that precipitation is really light and just kind of broad, it doesn't really show up as well on here. As we head through this evening and into tonight, you'll see that either very little or no precipitation will continue to be the case. But it's this moment when that trough is coming through tomorrow evening into tomorrow night that you see a nice band of snow develop here. And again, the worst of it will be in northern portions of Michigan, sweeping across the upper peninsula here and the northern half of the lower peninsula. But as you do see, the southern extent of this whole snow blob does reach down into our area, so we will more than likely be getting some wintry precipitation from the system. Now, of course, exactly how much is going to depend on where the system actually ends up moving. If it truly stays up here, we're probably not going to get much more than an inch. But if this system starts to shift a little more southward, then we could be talking about some more significant accumulations. This right here is actually the ensemble average for 24-hour snowfall for the period of our little storm system. And we are actually, below the 1-inch mark. But as you can see in those heavier bands, they are closer to the 4 to 6 inches, and the 2 to 4 more broadly in this kind of middle shade of blue. So it is not going to be like a major system wherever it is, but it will have some notable accumulations wherever it falls. And if it stays where it's currently expected to track, it won't really be anything for us to worry about. So, of course, let's take a look at the official forecast, too. The official forecast does have Lansing in the 1/2 inch to 1 inch mark, so that does check out. Oh, it's 1 p.m., and it's the first Saturday of the month. The sirens are going off. Perfect timing. As I was saying before our monthly tornado siren test commenced, we are looking at 1/2 inch to 1 inch of snow for the upcoming system here in the Lansing area, whereas further north they're seeing 2 to 4 inches and potentially more. Our low-end forecast, there's a 90% chance that we get this amount or more, shows us getting nothing. So there is a chance that the system is just a complete bust for us entirely. And our high-end forecast does have us getting 2 inches. Again, the high end is there's a 10% chance that we get this amount or higher. Does show us at the 2-inch mark with up to 5 inches closer to Cadillac and Houghton Lake. Now let's take a look at everybody's favorite cloud cover. Newsflash, it's going to be cloudy. It looks like we may have some clearing late tonight, which the skies were pretty clear last night. There was a full moon. It was pretty bright, and I was surprised it was visible, because normally you can't see that in winter, at least not in Michigan. So maybe we do have some clearing tomorrow night into tomorrow morning. Of course, then that second snow system starts to make its way in, and it gets cloudy again. Although, it looks like, as we head into Monday morning, we may once again have some clearing. Last but not least, I'm going to take a quick little gander at our wind here. It looks pretty calm throughout today, all of the day today. Calm through all of tomorrow. And then tomorrow night into Sunday morning, it looks like maybe we get some winds potentially approaching the 10-mile-per-hour range sustained. Even that's really not all that noteworthy. If we take a look at wind gusts, through today, again, it looks like at most, gusts maybe around 10, 15 miles per hour at most. Again, tomorrow looks really calm. Even the wind gusts may not even crack 10 miles per hour at most. And then, of course, as we head into tomorrow night and into Monday morning, the wind gusts do pick up a bit as that system moves through. We're looking at 25, maybe spots of 30 miles per hour at most. With that said, that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you tomorrow.